Simon, tell us about the preparation for the game, but also what the Anzac Eve fixture means to you and the club.
Yeah, look, obviously it's been great to get some training in the last couple of weeks, obviously after a few short turnarounds to get ourselves training and prepare for what is a very special game. It's one on the fixture that we all look forward to. The meaning of the Anzac spirit, what it means to a lot of people, the awareness that it brings and the honour that we have and the privilege of playing in such a special game. It's something we look forward to as a club, and I know the players really look forward to it.
How did the Brisbane loss affect your preparation? Did you sort of look at that and how exhausted some of the players would go with it? A few extra days rest, or did it sort of make you inclined to go the other way and training?
No, we were always planning to give our players 4 days off, which we did. Obviously, it's a long preparation, 13 days into the next game. So as soon as we got back, we got into some really good training. We've had 3 really good sessions on the way back in, ability to train some of the things that we want to improve on, and some of the things that we haven't executed that well in the last few weeks. So the Brisbane game was a disappointing game. There's no question about that in terms of how we wanted to play, but we've been able to reset ourselves, and hopefully we come out tomorrow night and we're the Melbourne of old and the team that we want to be.
There's been a couple of clubs, I think, commenting on the fact that they've had sort of 3 games in a really condensed amount of time recently. Is that something that sort of you've noticed or that bothers you in any way in terms of fixturing?
I think every club will have that at some stage in their season. That's just the way the fixture's done up. When you play more Thursday night footy, there's a consequence to that, and that's what the fixturing will provide. And there'll be teams that have that type of fixturing throughout the year, and I think every club just sits here and accepts it, prepares for it, does their best to prepare their players in the best way possible and perform to a really high level. So we certainly don't sit here and complain about it. We embrace it, we want to do well at it, and every club's going to go through it.
Sounds like Clayton's been medically ticked off. How is he sort of touch-wise and ready to go? Yeah,
look, he trained match play the other day. He's as eager as ever. There's no question that carrying that finger for 3 weeks, the weight of that in the last game especially was getting really hard for him. So to get that fixed, to get him healthy and to get him functioning really well is important. And you can see once again, similar to the start of the season, he's got that smile on his face, he's got that eagerness and that energy to come out and perform.
So have you noticed the difference just to training since he's had it fixed up?
Yeah, absolutely. I think any player that carries an injury for you can carry an injury for a few weeks, but when you start to carry it for multiple weeks on each other, it becomes a little bit frustrating. But you can see the energy and life that it's brought back into him, and the way he trained was unbelievable yesterday or the other day, so we're excited by that.
Looking back, should you have sent him to surgery a little bit earlier?
Oh no, it was always planned to be done, obviously, in that period. It was a pretty compact sort of time for our fixturing, obviously, so it was always planned to do that. Clayton was aware and embraced that was the situation. He wanted to go down that path, and if you had hindsight, you'd maybe do a lot of things differently, but Clays is that type of player he wants to play. So the main thing is it's been fixed and he's ready to go.
Having Cozzy back from suspension will be huge.
It's pretty important, isn't he? It's great to have him back. Obviously he's an important player to us, and we missed him against Brisbane. So he brings an energy to our forward half. He hits the scoreboard. He brings a different dynamic to our midfield. So he's really important to get him back into our team.
Well, maybe Hunter maybe return through the VFL, then a bye. So you're probably leaving with Casey for another week before to build up his match list before an AFL return. Yeah, look, he's coming into the selection conversation. He played some really strong footy in his last game, especially in the second half. So he's starting to get himself into a position where he's really knocking on the door, and we'll make that decision later today. But he's certainly someone that's important to us. He's an experienced player. And can play multiple roles, so we're sort of keen to get him in at some stage soon. How's the club kind of manage those that aren't playing at senior level, given that VFL things played 2 games in about 25 days?
Yeah, look, obviously we've just trained. With the guys that we've got in our VFL, they had a really good hit out on the Saturday against Port Melbourne down at Frankston. So they had a really good hit out, and they've been training as well, so they'll play tomorrow as well. So we've got a lot of guys that are starting to press claims. We're getting healthier all the time. Shane McAdam's playing his first game at Casey tomorrow, so we're looking forward to seeing that. Get him back in the fold, and obviously Lockie Hunter's come back in recent weeks. So we're starting to get some more people back available for selection to go along with some of the younger players that are performing well.
Come up against Adam Uzay. Have you seen anything in the scouting report that's a bit familiar?
Richmond or who's? Both. Yeah, okay.
Have you noticed anything from the scouting report that it sort of feels a bit familiar, or his coaching style, you're seeing the stamp on the Richmond team?
Oh, I think he would know us very well, and we know him very well. So I don't think there's an advantage either way, other than to say we have enormous respect for Adam. We know what he obviously did for us as a footy club and our coaching group, but also for his, we've always respected what he does. Richmond obviously been a challenging time with injury, but we know when you watch Richmond play, one thing, they're going to bring effort, they're going to bring intensity, and they're going to play the right way. And you can see that even in their losses so far. They've challenged a lot of teams, and they've beaten some teams up the top of the ladder. So we're going to have to be right in our game.
You guys are tight to back and forth at all during this week, or is it silent radio silence?
She's silence at the moment, but I'm sure post-game we'll catch up for a coffee or a quiet beer and debrief the game.